Naveen Rao, one of our students, and with spouse Kirti. Naveen, interesting. Naveen has been through a very difficult journey. He and his wife actually lived in the US, and unfortunately, there's all sorts of nonsense happening in the US, and unfortunately, Naveen's US visa was cancelled, and he was sent back. Right, Naveen? It was such a painful. I
Right,
remember.
right.
And then he contacted us through Zoom, just like all what you people do. And that is how his journey started. And today, he and his wife are permanent residents of Canada, just under 20 months, right?
Yes, sir. Right. Under
Yeah.
20
So,
months. Yeah.
yeah, just around 20 months. And they are in Calgary. Both are IT professionals. So, congratulations, Naveen, to you and to Kirti.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you, sir. Thank you so much.
Yes.
Kirti, Naveen is actually a Telugu, but he was born and brought up in Mumbai, right,
Delhi.
Naveen? Or
Delhi.
Delhi.
Delhi, sir. Yes.
Delhi, yes, yeah. So Naveen, I still, I'm so happy to see you. You guys are successful, and that makes us successful as well. And I remember talking to Naveen multiple times. He was so worried if he would get his Canadian study visa. So what basically happened was, Naveen returned back. His wife Kirti was H-1B holder in the US, and then he came to India, applied for study visa through CIP. He studied in Loyalist College, and his wife Kirti applied for dependent visa through CIP. We assist our students families, and she got a full-time job in Alberta, and she got a provincial nomination, and through the provincial nomination they got their PR express entry all through CIP, entire journey from CIP. Thank you very much, you guys, trusting us and also giving us an opportunity to to serve you and also take care of our business, our families, and our Steve. So really appreciate. So Naveen, how did you find about CIP, and how was your journey with CIP?
So, sir, since after the US incident, I had to go back to India, and then COVID started. My wife was in US, I was in India. We were not married then, but uh, I was looking for some guidance. Went to many consultancies, and my wife used to do research from US. I used to do research in India about the good consultancies. Like visited almost 10 to 15 consultancies, and then my wife came across your page on Facebook and found good reviews about CIP. And then she said, why don't you reach out to CIP? And then I attended the meeting, spoke about my my case, US case, and then with your guidance, with the Anil sir guidance, joined Loyalist College, applied for the student visa, uh, planned from there what to do in the future, and then and with the help of, I believe, your team, and then the confidence level, we both could able to live together again after she came back to India. And then then we came back to, then we came to Canada and started living again. But yeah, with the help of CIP, like, life changing things, it changed completely. I think Kirti will also agree. uh, I think guidance is very much important. A proper guidance, especially when you are thinking about your future in a different country. Uh, Guidance and help is very much important. Transparent guidance, I would say. I mean, guidance any consultancy would give. Apply for this, apply for that, but a proper guidance is very much important. Uh, CIP gave us, I believe, a practical guidance. Told about what to do, what not to do, how we can approach things, and then how we can do, after completing first step, how we can achieve the second step and all that. So it's all about patience and all also. But yeah, CIP helped us a lot.
And I would like to also add another thing. As Naveen mentioned, he visited like literally in person almost 10 to 15 consultancies back in India, Hyderabad.
Yeah.
But personally, what I felt is every consultancy that he was visiting is more or less a lot commercial than a practical advice or being at least honest with everything. In the first call itself with CIP, I did not get that notion, and I felt everything was fine, and luckily everything worked for us as well.
And yeah, that's very important. I always advise all international students and all prospective, students, people who are planning to always choose an agency, one, which has direct agreements with colleges and universities. And second, applying for admission visa is not really an issue, but any agency who is an RCIC and here in Canada will give you the best support. That is basically, there are ethical and unethical actors and unfortunately criminals in this system. But always my advice to all of you guys, please don't go for sub-agents. There are 20,000 idiotic criminal sub-agents in the system. Yesterday, Gujarat, there was an agency who is, it's a big agency and they were caught. They worked through sub-agents and franchisees and they were doing fake degrees. Right? KC Overseas, there's an ongoing investigation on them. So guys, please make sure that you choose a consultancy. Doesn't have to be CIP, but any consultancy which has offices in your home country and in Canada, because once you come here, you will have hundreds of questions. Your journey only starts from the day you step here into Canada. So that's very important. So, you lived in the US and you came to Canada, right? We helped more than 300 people with the US H-1B visas, right? There were so many people, it finished in 36 hours. So your comparison, right? Like what you have been through in the US and in Canada, how do you see?
So obviously, if US immigration laws are stricter,
and US immigration, not only with the US immigration, but the life in US is kind of unpredictable. Because H1 is not like a secure thing, is what I felt. That is the reason we just moved out of US and took the decision of Canada. And even when we applied for SOWP, like we went through you guys itself, and Nikhil ji was the person who helped me. But again, we had to cancel that application, and because I went to the border and then I got it via border services, so we had to cancel that application. But yeah, that was helpful in every step. CIP was there with us. We applied even our PR with CIP, and even our tech pathway application was also with CIP. So there are so many.
But yeah, sir, if you compare US with Canada, in US, students cannot work when they are studying. In Canada, we can, with the new immigration law, students can also work 40 hours. Temporary, but yeah, they have. It's not like strict laws.
The biggest challenge, I think, is, to add, Naveen, there are only 20,000 H-1B for international graduates in the US. There is no such limit in Canada.
There is no such limit here. There are so many immigration plans in Canada. It is up to the student what they want to do, how they can, where they want to settle in which province. But there are options. In US, after you complete your studies, you have to apply for the OPT. You have no guarantee OPT will get approved or not. First thing. Second thing, H-1B lottery. H-1B lottery is a big mess. Like one candidate applies for 7 H-1Bs. So it's a loophole, and then again, the laws are so strict. If something happens over the night, you have to travel to or something, whosoever the person is from, that person has to travel to that country because of some incident or family emergency. While coming back, he'll be tensed. What will happen at the port of entry?
Happened to you, right? You were coming back and you were caught for some nonsense and you were sent back.
Yes.
It is not only that one thing. It's always a risk that when you travel out of country from United States, it's always a risk that what will happen when you come back.
You don't feel that, right? In Canada, Yeah, Naveen, you always are so trend and you feel like a third grade citizen coming in the US, going through this, where all the
Correct.
the border officials are checking you, scanning you, taking your emails, your cell phones, and everything. What's this nonsense for? What?
No, I mean,
It's
sir,
not a contest,
first
right?
they first they give the visa, and then they again do the filtration at the port of entry. Then they again go through the document. It's a mental torture, basically. It's a mental torture. I mean, you don't have peace of mind. You're going for a vacation, coming back from a vacation. You basically not going for a vacation. You still have things going on in India when you are, on your vacation. Will happen at the port of entry. Which port of entry I should select? Literally, my friends used to carefully book their tickets and thinking, shall I land in Chicago or shall I land in San Francisco or shall I land in New Jersey? Which port of entry will be easy for me? I don't think there is such thing with Canada.
Yes, and every week I have somebody who's being deported, OPT, F1 or OPT or H1B, and unfortunately, there are 50% of the students who go to the US, they are on F1 visa for 7 years. First, they do masters, then 3 years OPT, then second masters until they get the PR. And I know people who actually had even done their PhDs. And I think you saw this video. I've just put a short video here. The waiting period for green card.
That's a joke, because
It's
there are literally people who are not even going to get it, because that's how the timeline is for the green card.
Exactly right. So this is such a huge pain. I'm not sure if many of you. So it's actually taking more than it's taking more than 100 years to get the green card.
US green cards have hit a record backlog. Employment-based green cards have reached a backlog of 1.8 million, which means about 1.8 million immigrants are waiting for their permanent resident card for the United States. About 1.1 million of them are from India. New applicants from India will have to wait their entire lives for a green card. There is a waiting period of over 134 years.
134 years.
134 years. More than 400,000 will die before. And during the waiting period, the immigrants are not eligible to work legally in the United States. They also
But that's not wrong. That's wrong.
Moving legally to America has become next to impossible. Think about it. A waiting period of 134 years is nothing less than a life sentence.
Yeah, so that's really a pain, right? So how is Canada? You lived in Canada. Was it a good decision for you coming to Canada? Are you happy coming to Canada?
Yes, sir. We are very much happy coming to Canada. I mean, it was a life-changing decision.
Basically, life has become more peaceful in terms of immigration. Or if you want to take vacations, travel outside country, or go visit home, all those things. I mean, life has become more peaceful and easy.
You can plan at least now, buy a house and plan families.
Yes.
You don't have the fear of, okay, what will happen? Where will I go? You are already a permanent resident, right? So that's it. So Kirti, getting back to you, you came here as a spouse open work permit holder. You had a job in the US. So there's a lot of, yes, Canada is a much smaller market. We just have a population of under 40 million, right? It's almost 10 times smaller than the US. So how difficult was it to get a job? And I think Naveen, you as well, right? You just graduated. So for you guys, how is the IT industry? Like, how difficult was it to find a job here in Canada?
So basically, sir, for me, the things has been little different than others. I will say that, because with the experience that I carried from US, I had a really good relationship with my clients in US. So the client that I worked for is a CVS pharmacy. So my manager at CVS pharmacy, she knows me very well in and out. So when I moved to Canada, I did not have a work permit, like a valid work permit that I can work. So I had to take a break for almost like 5 or 6 months. after 5 or 6 months, I reached out to my manager asking her if I can join back, and I told her that I moved to Canada and all those things. So they were pretty much fine and they hired me back. But unfortunately, I didn't know about Alberta Tech Pathway then. This I'm talking about in May last year.
Yeah.
So I did not know about it. So I had joined them through a contract position. But however, I moved to Infosys in December last year as a full time. And I had to pick the location then when I'm joining Infosys. So I picked Alberta because by then I had done all my research about Alberta Tech Pathway and all those things. And yeah, that's how I'm still with the same client, but I'm working for Infosys. It was pretty good, smooth, I should say. And even for Naveen,
I think,
he can talk.
yeah. So last year, in the month of November, when Canada government announced that students can also work 40 hours, I quickly started applying. So I was applying for jobs, but there was no luck. But then after this law passed, I actively started applying for more jobs. And then in the month of November itself, I got an opportunity with BMO, Bank of Montreal, in IT field. So, and I was studying then also.
That's yes, that's good.
Yes. So, and before joining BMO, I was doing part-time jobs and working with Domino's, worked with UPS and as a delivery guy. So Coke factory, but things have not been so easy. However, with the time and the patience and compromises and all, we got the result. I mean, we got the fruit. So
It is not easy, right? You are IT professionals and coming here again to study and doing
yes,
your assignments and then doing the part-time jobs, obviously, Domino's delivery and all that.
yes,
You have to compromise so many things. But again, unfortunately, that is the path we had to. I started my career in a part-time job in Conestoga College for $10.50 back those days. So, but again, guys, we with CIP, we have many people like Naveen. I think every week we don't plan these videos. If anybody comes in, we actually have them just talk about their experience, but we have hundreds and hundreds of students who are from CIP. Guys, if you are educated, if you have work experience, good English skills, you will definitely find and settle here. It's only a question of time. It's important to choose the right consultancy. It's important to educate yourself and understand, because this is your journey and you have to be on the top all the time. And with hard work and effort, it will definitely work out. So, well, Naveen, your advice, what would you advise all the prospective students who are considering to move to Canada, to move to US, anyway, right? But in Canada, let's be specific here. What would you advise them, IT professionals or young prospective, what would you advise them to be successful in Canada? What do they need to be successful here?
So first thing is patience. Patience. Keep on doing your hard work. Look for the proper guidance. Go through the Canada portal, like the Canada, the official immigration portal. Do your own research, and then take actions. I mean, struggle is there everywhere, but you have to have patience and just keep on planning, keep on looking for opportunities, do your hard work, and you will succeed.
Yeah, thank you. And how is Calgary? Like, you lived in Toronto, you are in Calgary. Just to understand the perspective for, we work with University of Calgary, Bow Valley College, and Northwest in Edmonton. So I'm just thinking how, like comparatively, haven't been to Calgary as yet, but I hear it's a beautiful city. It's a nice place.
Calgary is beautiful, sir. I mean, city is pretty much laid back, like people don't take much stress. It's not like Toronto, happening. People are running. Calgary is pretty much laid back. You have Banff and Jasper National Park, like 1.5 hour drive from here. Mountain, hills, lakes, rivers. You get to see wildlife also sometimes. It's very beautiful. I mean, life is calm. IT is not so great here, but expecting it, in next 5 years to 4 to 5 years. However, if you have experience, Calgary is the place.
It is. And yes, the Alberta government is really, really trying hard to make Calgary and Edmonton an IT hub. But Canada is a small economy, economy, and it takes time.
Yes.
Government is playing very clever. They're actually making it easy for the for the people, professionals, IT professionals to get visa. And when IT professionals are there, their hope is that these big companies will move to Canada because it's difficult to access employees in the US, right? So that's the reason they gave this 10,000 visas to the H-1B holders. And then we also have a new visa coming in December, the digital nomad visa as well, right? So interesting. Let's see how it works out. Unless and until US changes, but I don't think it's going to be easy to change the 7% cap for green cards, the H-1B. It really takes a lot of many years for the system to change if they would change. So Canada is a great option. Yes, less salaries compared to the US, but you will definitely have peace of mind, right?
Yes. That is what we want ultimately.
But thank you.
I think Canada is all about pick and choose what you're picking, what you want to let go, and what you want.
Yes.
Is something like there are some people who I know, they want more money and they're okay with all the hustle bustle with the visas, immigration system. So they are stuck in US. I mean, I know a person who did not visit India at least 9 years. Is just because of the risk. What will happen when he's trying to come back? But we don't want to be in that situation. So we picked up Canada and now we are at peace. That's what matters most to us.
Team as well. I worked with the US government for the J1 programs. I used to live in the US. For all our Telugu people, we will die holding the hope of US green card. But I thought, let me play safe and have come to a safe country. And Canada proved to be such a blessing for me, my family, and for you guys and many other people. So thank you very much for taking time, at a short notice, ad hoc. Thank you very much for applying through CIP, trusting me. I talked to Naveen so many times in Zoom and on WhatsApp calls, for his statement of purpose, for his visa application. And would he get the visa and all that? I said, let's go and do it, because we've had many people who have been approved after US visa cancellations. And as long as it has been a proper, so it worked out. And thank you again, for supporting us. You applied through our immigration team for your PR and entire journey. It's a pleasure to have you guys and share your feedback here in our CIP channel. Thank you very much, Naveen and Kirti.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you so much. For us, CIP is like a one-stop for everything.
Yeah. Yes, for sure.
It has become like that, at least right now. So even for now, we wanted to apply for a super visa. So we didn't think of anything else. We just wanted to just call you and get all the information.
Sure. And one more thing, for all the CIP clients and students, guys, you don't have to join in the morning. We have the Zoom for you till 8 p.m. every day. So in the morning, me, Sandeep, myself, Shivani or Nihilji is there. Nihil is usually from 4 to 8 p.m. because he works as a clinical assistant in the morning. So any person who is a CIP student, CIP client, and planning to apply through CIP, guys, you can join the Zoom till 8 p.m. Toronto time. And we are happy to help you guys. Yeah. Okay. Thank you. And guys, have a wonderful day, and have Shivani ji connect with you, Naveen. Yeah.
Okay. Sure. Thank you so much. Have a good day.
Bye.
Thank you.